I'm going to be going off on something called interferon. Most of you have at least heard of interferon. Now, I'm going to be doing this as a debunking of propaganda, raw, naked propaganda. So here we go. A recombinant form of the protein interferon alpha 2 exists. Originally sequenced and produced recombinantly to make it artificially instead of harvesting it from somewhere, using E. coli to copy it, or whatever. In a laboratory, Charles Weissman at the University of Zurich. It is now trade named Intron A. That's it. This is University of Zurich and through a company. This is old news information, and it can be used to treat things. The definition listing for it also gives a few more hints. A drug used to treat AIDS-related something sarcoma in certain patients, certain types of leukemia, melanoma, and other things that have been removed by surgery. It's also used with other anti-cancer drugs to treat certain types of lymphoma, other types. IFN alpha 2B is also used to treat some infections caused by viruses, such as hepatitis C. It's being studied for treatment of other types of cancers and other conditions. What is it? It's a form of interferon alpha, normally made by cells in the immune system. Basically, you copy a specific component of how your immune system works using this rather convoluted method, so you can make buckets of it. You can use it to treat a disease that your immune system isn't able to fight for some reason. It's made in a lab. It is a type of cytokine and a type of biological response modifier, also called interferon alpha 2B, Intron A, which is the trade name, and recombinant interferon alpha 2B. And if you posted some countries or a couple of countries' propaganda on the internet, acting like it's a brand new thing, and that it is the cure for anything, go take your posting down. Thank you very much, Starless Mystery, for bringing this to my attention. But this is actually its origin story. This took more to look up than the news story that I got, but thank you. I needed to see that. It's approved already around the world for treating all sorts of things. Chronic hepatitis, various types, leukemias of various types, Behçet's, I can't pronounce the disease, myelonomia, and malignant melanoma. It's currently in clinical trials to try to treat patients with COVID-19, because why not? They will try everything. That doesn't mean it's a cure. That doesn't mean it's the cure. And if you see anybody saying anything, or hinting, especially hinting, at saying that, don't repost it. But I do appreciate getting told about this. In the 1980s, Cuba first used advanced interferon techniques to treat dengue fever, and later found success on HIV, papillomavirus, I can't pronounce it, and other diseases. 1980s, excuse me. That it's a very old drug. China handing over interferon alpha 2B, recombinant IFNREC, to Cuba, so Cuba can then ship it and make a big deal on national television that they're going to save Italy from coronavirus, especially because they're fighting the blockade from the U.S. The blockade with the U.S. has nothing to do with whether or not Italy already had this since the 80s and is already experimenting with it. We're coming here to save Italy. You're doing a publicity stunt, and you're being assholes exploiting a disease. That's it. But I do appreciate them showing up and trying to help because, as everybody else posted in various pages, the fact that Cuba's government has made it a priority as a goodwill thing and maybe propaganda to go off and actually help, that's not something to sneeze at, pun intended, and it's not something to insult. But this was a propaganda stunt. And I don't care. If they brought medication to Italy where it's sorely needed, I don't give a crap. They can go there and promote whatever they want to. I think it's absolutely wonderful. Thank you, Cuba. I'm not kidding. They may have stockpiled a bunch of this stuff, because you can, to treat a bunch of things that aren't a problem anymore, and they don't need it. And sure as hell, stopping it wherever it's getting worse is a good idea for literally the entire freaking planet. Next, I'm going to say something. The United States blockading Cuba is dumb and should stop. Period. I agree. I still don't like that it was propagandistic. Thank you very much for bringing up that even through blockades, people will stop this damn virus. I don't care if they were doing it for political reasons. This is wonderful. But anyway, it's basically, when you hear the word interferon, there's a lot of them, but this is one of them. And it's one of them that's been effective against all sorts of things. And in Cuba, because they had limited access to supplies and research, they threw whatever they could at everything. As one person I know personally said, I will volunteer for every test to get rid of this disease. I want to get rid of it. And he had acquired immune deficiency syndrome. He went into remission, and he's one of now thousands of people worldwide, maybe, that are in remission who have HIV. They're HIV positive, but it's not killing them or hurting them. And they're being studied, because we desperately do need to get rid of that damn disease. It's still creeping around someplace. We just don't hear about it very much anymore. Mostly because it's like a lot of diseases. It eventually gets to a point that it would be in its evolutionary or tactically best interest not to kill off all the hosts. I want to bring up something really terrifying again about AIDS. It has a ridiculously long incubation period. That's why it became such a big deal. If it just killed people off rapidly, it would be yet another disease that was transferred. The thing that killed off people more wasn't the disease. It was ignorant bastards going after the victims of the virus and blaming them for it. Can we learn from our mistakes? And I like to point out again, people keep forgetting what the Spanish flu was, how a almost world-ending catastrophe it was, and people almost went out of their way to forget it. I really do agree that we do that every time we make a dumb mistake or have to deal with something beyond our power. It doesn't make it matter if it's our fault or if it's just the world happening to us. Never forget. So there it is. But anyway, thank you, Cuba, for helping. I don't care if you're doing it for political reasons. I really wish everybody would just say, yeah, this is the guy who created Zurich, Switzerland, I think. It's been around a long time, and this is not new. And I really do like that they're sharing their supplies of materials and help, because we really do need to do that as a species every damn time we get a chance. And yeah, the blockade of Cuba is dumb. I don't think it should be there anymore. I don't even know why we have it anymore. The original reasoning is gone, pretty much. I mean, really, it wasn't a missile crisis. I don't see them doing that. Post your links below or comments about what you think should be done about the Cuban blockade. And if you know of a good reason for us to be blockading the damn country, I'd like to know what it is, because honestly, the last time someone tried to explain to me and the last time I tried to look it up, I gave up in frustration, because it was based on crap that isn't really a problem right now. But we'll find out now. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that.